I'm Melissa Kathryn, and I want to talk to you about something that I teach often. It's truly how to spiritually lose weight. And you might be going, what does that even mean? Well, as a spiritual nutritionist, one of the things that I've learned after decades of dieting is that everything around actually losing, because listen, we've all lost weight, but you don't want to gain it back again, right? And you also want to let go of the crazy thoughts around food, the constant calorie counting, the always obsessing, trying to figure out the next fad diet. Should I be going on this? But to actually lose weight and maintain it, release it, we say, because we don't want to lose it. The phrasing around that means you'll gain it back again. We want to release it. But so much of this is actually, there's a spiritual component. And I really want to speak into that. Today. No matter what your religious affiliation, I'm not here to push religion on anybody, but I do want to tell you core principles that are necessary in order to release weight and keep it off. And as a nutritionist, I'm a holistic nutritionist. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have a background in food, women, the psychology of food self-sabotage, emotional eating, and women's sabotaging behaviors, in particular with food, or humans in general. That is where my honestly, the essence of my education, along with my own experience. I'm also a master therapist, master life coach. All of these things aid to you and support you in what you want to do. So if you've been struggling with your weight for more than a year, you don't have a weight issue. You have a relationship with food and a lack of one with yourself, and you're in a very me-centric, isolated experience. When we get into spiritual weight loss, what I want you to understand is it's actually changing the frame. It's having you separate out from your human and understanding, one, that you are more than the body. You are not of the body. The body is an asset to you in this human experience. When you actually separate out from the body, it changes the game on everything, because then you start to see, oh, my body is an asset for me. It can help in my longevity. It can help in my happiness. It can work for me. It can give me strength. It can do this, but it is not me. It does not define me. It is not all of me. I am not my weight. My weight is not me. Thank you, Miss Marmar. Thank you. Thank you. For a long time, and I know if you're new to me, but I want to share this story with you. For a long time, I thought my weight was me. I thought my weight defined me, and I had good reason for it. To be honest, I grew up, I was criticized around my body. I was thunder thighs. I was always, I was not, 100 pounds overweight. I was 15. But I'm 5'4". I was never the thin girl. I was never like, but I was always larger. And what I mean by that, like I said, I had the bubble butt, the thunder thighs. I didn't feel like I fit in. I couldn't, like, my friends would all just wear these, at my age, I'm going to age myself. There were these things called multiples, and you would go and get this like tube skirt that could be a scarf or a tube top or a skirt. That did not work on my frame. And it was made clear to me that it didn't. And so what happened, though, was when I released weight, I got a lot of recognition, especially from family members, from siblings, and all of a sudden I got this nod, as if like I had this one up on everybody. And there was this, it was unexpected, right? And I got given accolades. All of a sudden it was like, well, what are you doing? I noticed people looked at me differently. I noticed I was getting, it just elevated my awareness around my body, but also I had this feeling like I had this superpower. I had confidence like I'd never experienced before, but it was false confidence. And let me explain what happened. I lost the weight. I can go into my story a lot more because there's so much here. I lost the weight. It was unhealthy. It was chronic dieting. It was this, but I lost the weight. And at the time, it wasn't, I didn't realize it, but I wanted that feeling so badly. I loved the way I felt. I was like, oh my, I felt like people saw me. I felt like I had this superpower. I felt I was getting all these comments. People that I love the most were saying things to me. It's like I had this one up on people, and I can't really fully explain it other than that. And it gave me this false sense of worthiness. And it became a dangerous place to play, because then anytime I gained weight, and people stopped giving me false praise and comments, because it is false. Because although they're looking at me and saying something, I need to know that I'm worthy and deserving of the confidence, of the love, of the accolades, of the appreciation. Everything that they are saying was not contingent on my body, but I believed I got it because of my body. But the truth is, they started to see me because I started to see myself differently. It's all self-concept work, and I dive deep into self-concept work in other videos here, and we do a lot of that in my Limitless Academy, my ongoing live mind, body, lifestyle membership academy. But I want to share with you how you can do this too, because this is a slippery slope. I had to really drop into faith, and I had stepped away from my faith in the process. If you look at a dieter, it's a very isolated experience. It's very me-centric. It's, I need to figure this out. I need to know what to do. I. Where's the we? Where's the we in the collective consciousness? Where am I? We need faith in order to have faith in how our body changing, have faith as we get stronger. It doesn't happen overnight. It is a journey. That's why it's called a weight loss journey. But the weight loss journey is an unbearable one if you don't have faith. So when I talk about spiritual weight loss, I want you to understand that you aren't your body. And when I realized, when I really had this beautiful aha, and I came back to wholeness, which is what my business is, wholeness. I teach women wholeness, coming back to the truth of who you are before you ever thought you were less than, whether due to a number on the scale, a trauma, or any limiting belief. It's to get out of the falsehoods of these things outside of us to give us the love that we seek. When you realize that the power lies within you, that the love for you, you have to love you more than you want to overeat. You have to love you more than you want to hit snooze. You have to love you more than you want to talk negatively to yourself or buy into other people's stories about you or what you believe to be true. You have to love you more. And when you align with your body will always guide you to your ideal weight, to the foods that serve you, the foods that hurt you. It will make it very easy for you. One of the things that I teach in our Weight Loss for Life program, my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program, linked below, is and here's something that I can tell you with spiritual weight loss. Your guides and angels are around you all the time. If you've set in motion that you want to release weight, I promise you, you know, when that food falls out of your hand and it falls on the floor, or you go to put that popcorn in your mouth and it goes down here, or the piece of chocolate or the brownie or another cookie, and it falls, those are your angels intercepting and going, hey, you gave us a direct command. You put a prayer in motion that you wanted to release this weight. We're here to help you. So please don't pick up that food off the ground and still put it in your mouth, but go, let me put the bag away. God is here for me. The universe is here for me. Source energy is here for me. Whatever you believe to be, right? It's here and it's guiding me and it's helping me. And I need that more than I need this other cookie. I need that more than I need to grab for something. Recognize that when we are pulling for food, at times of distress, at times of joy, at times of fear, at times of exhaustion, it is solely or boredom. It is an emotional response. It is what we deem emotional eating. And when you start to understand, oh, this food, it now has an emotional connection to me, then of course going on a diet is only going to be something that you can do for 1, 2, 3 weeks, 3 months. You might even go, yeah, but Melissa, I did it for a year. Great. But you're going to inevitably gain the weight back. Trust me, I've been doing this for thousands of women for over 20 years now. I did it with myself. I would lose the weight. I gain it back. And I always said I was stuck in a prison of my own making. I was either stuck in a prison of hating myself fat or hating myself skinny. If I was hating myself hating myself fat, I was combining skinny and fat, scat, that's a new word. If I was hating myself fat, then it meant that I was emotionally eating, right? Where we restrict, we'll rebel. I was hiding myself from the world. I was calling out, I called it calling out fat. And I know the word fat is not meant to, but like in truth, that's what I would say to myself. Like I would be invited to go to social things. I'm like, I'm calling out fat. I don't even want to attempt to put clothes on my body. I feel bloated. I feel gross. And then I'd sit in my own isolation. And what do you think happened? I'd overeat. Even if I was overeating on health foods, sugar-free 100 calories of this, Quest bars, right? I often tell the story about how I like binged on Quest bars and I ate like 4 in a row. And I was like, well, it's only really like 600 calories or 800. That's what dieters do. They sift and they sort and they try to figure out the calorie count and what would be the cheap. No, I was disconnected from faith. I was disconnected from knowing that I am so much more than this body and this 3D reality. And I was sourcing emotional components from food. I was sourcing food. Why? Because food had taken on the form of my best friend, the relationship that I didn't have at that time. It was giving me false confidence where I didn't have it. Think of this, food doesn't yell at you. Food's always there to listen to you. Food's there when you want to celebrate. Food's there for you when you're going through a hard time. Food ends up taking on human form. And this is why I always hear women going, something's wrong with me. I don't understand why I can't just stay on the diet. What happened? Why would you let go of something that's serving so many areas of support for you in your life? You wouldn't. Because then there's a void and it's uncomfortable to sit with ourselves. It's uncomfortable for many to go, I'm not happy in my relationship and I don't like my career and I don't know what I want. And on top of that, I don't really like the way that I look